All right, Chloe. Well, I just wanted to ask you, what is kind of one of your favorite things about your grandma Ava?
My favorite thing about Granny is she is like great with like family history and stuff like that, like
Mm.
family trees. Like I wouldn't really expect that from like anyone, but she's really good at like finding out like things about our ancestors and
He's a hoot, I'm a mess. He has stories, I have requests. We love to play photographic memories. It's time for GrandDad and Me. It's a grand life for GrandDad and Me.
GrandDad and Me is brought to you by Bob Bailey Studios, home of photographic memories. And now the Allie-Grace and GrandDad.
Hey guys, we're visiting today with on GrandDad and Me with two terrific folks. We got Ava and we got Chloe, and one's the grandmother, one's the granddaughter. You can guess, see which one you can figure it out. That'll be part of our game today, is guessing which one's which. But and then we got Allie-Grace. How are you, Allie-Grace?
I'm good.
I'm glad you're with us. It's always great to be with you. Guys, we're going to go over and take a look at a couple of photographs that Ava brought into us, and some of the family history, and it's really interesting.
At the beginning of the 20th century, Jaffa was one of the busiest ports on the eastern Mediterranean. Jaffa was famous for its oranges, sea trade, and its role as the gateway for travelers heading inland to Jerusalem. Sadly, between 1894 and 1896, during the reign of Abdul Hamid II, large-scale massacres of Armenians occurred across the Ottoman Empire, resulting in the deaths of an estimated 100 to 300,000 Armenians. It was into this world of persecution that Ava and Chloe's family grew oranges and hoped for the future.
This is my great grandparents and their six children. There were really eight. Six survived.
And that was so common. And this is 1901. This picture is taken.
Correct.
Easter. Why? Any significance to it being Easter?
Armenians, the custom was, if you had the means to do it, you took a family picture each Easter.
Wow.
And then that picture was distributed to families, to the extended family.
So how did you find this picture? Is this something you had all of your life with you, or did you?
No, actually, it is not. I got this picture about, let's see, it was in 2017. A cousin I had never met before, who grew up in Jerusalem, gave this picture to me, and it was mind-boggling. I had never seen a picture of my great-grandparents.
And it's the original, right? I mean, it's got all the stuff from the photograph, the photographer that actually made the picture.
Well, it is.
It's a copy.
They're on cardboard. They're called cabinet photos.
Cabinet. And this was.
Why is it called a cabinet photo?
I have no idea.
Okay. I don't either. How interesting.
But at the time, pictures were mounted on cardboard, and then that was mailed to other family members, extended family.
Fantastic. Chloe, what makes you curious about something? And that's your family, kiddo. What do you see in there that's interesting to you?
I think what's interesting to me is like just how like old it is. Like I didn't really like know how cameras work back then, but I know it was probably really important to take pictures because you can only do it like once, and then you have to like pay for more film or whatever.
Yeah, that's what we
How
actually,
old is
Chloe.
that?
That's a lot about what we talk about here, because we're talking about our old. When my uncle and my dad were taking pictures, they would only take one or two, even if it was a commercial job, because the film was so expensive. it was so hard to get the whole thing done. So you're absolutely right. And this one was even more rare because, my gosh, this is 30 years, taken 30 years before my uncle even started taking pictures. So this is a real rarity to see something like this. The anything about the I started to call them costumes, but anything about the way they're dressed, Ava, that sticks out to you, that something that you found out about it?
The thing I get a real charge out of is my grandfather to the right of his seated grandmother. That's my grandfather, David.
Oh my gosh.
And he's in the little sailor costume.
Right.
And then his brother, his older brother by 2 years, is to the other side of his big sister. And they have matching sailor.
Yeah, I see that. That's great. Fantastic. And this was actually taken in Java, Palestine.
Java.
Yeah. And we have a little thing here that we can take a look at. Just this is what Java looked like in 1901. And Ava, have you been there? Have you been to that area?
No, I have not. I had kicked around with some cousins about going there this summer. Mm-hmm. I think that's out of the question at this point.
Yeah, unfortunately, I understand that. My goodness, but it's
so neat that you showed the orange grove. Those orange groves belong to my great grandfather.
Really, really.
Wow.
And then Ava, Chloe, you know where they went after they left Jaffa?
I'm not sure.
Ava, where did they go when they left Jaffa?
Well, the story is that my great grandfather died and the family was left without a means of support. Would you like me to tell you the story of their escape?
I'd love it.
Okay. Chloe, I know that you're studying American history, not world history, but during this period of time, a group of people called Ottomans, who were pretty ruthless folks, ruled over this whole area of the world, and they were Muslim. Armenians are Christians. Armenians were the first Christian nation, in fact, in the world. The first nation to actually adopt Christianity. And they're much like Jews were during World War II. Armenians were under travel restrictions. They had to have permission to go anywhere. And so my great-grandfather, Hagop, passed away and left the family pretty much without a means of support. My great-grandmother's brothers had already made it to Brookshire and had become successful, so they sent her money to live and to buy passage. So the problem is she had to get somewhere. And she did get permission from the Ottomans to move to Beirut, Lebanon, where we had family. And so she got on the ship at the port of Jaffa and headed towards Beirut. And when the ship arrived, she refused to get off. And this was with all 6 children. she refused to get off, and because she knew the ship was going to continue to Marseille, France. And a big commotion ensued between my great-grandmother, Takui, and the captain. She was pretty good at what my aunt called histrionics. And so the captain eventually took pity on her because he knew that they were Armenians and he knew, the problems. And so he allowed her to stay on. And he didn't have to. He could have had her, physically removed. But he let her stay. He took pity on her and the 6 children. And they headed to Marseille and took a train into Le Havre and sailed. Wow. But it was an escape.
What a story. Wow. How does that make you feel, Chloe?
Like, that's so, like, surprising and, like, amazing.
Isn't it? And that's part of your family that, my goodness, a woman.
You come from strong women.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? Allie-Grace, do you have anybody in your family that escaped anything that you...
Not that I'm aware of. However, I'm not great with my family history. I need some Ava in my life, but you may know more than me. I mean, I feel like you're super well rounded and all of that, but not that I'm aware of. No.
No, not me either. I mean, I think your mom got out of a couple of sales at Target, but that's about all that escaped me. I know she's done. So.
But it is amazing. I mean, that is a strong woman to be like, nope, I am not stopping here. I'm going to keep going. That is amazing.
I love it. And then they wind up in this.
With the knowledge, Chloe, that my family who did not make it out of the old country into the U.S., they all died in 1950 in the genocide.
Yeah. But then, after she takes this heroic trip, winds up in Brookshire, right?
That
right,
sure
did. And this is 1904 when I think that's, if my research was correct, this is when, about the time she got to Brookshire. Is that right?
Yes.
Wow.
They arrived in New York and got processed and got on another ship and then came around to Galveston.
Right. Gosh. Where they were living in Brookshire?
Would this have been 1904?
Yeah, that's what this is.
They lived, see the arrow where it says Main Street?
Yeah.
They lived in the top of that building.
Really?
That it's pointing to.
Well, great take on the picture, Granddad. I mean, wow.
So, Ava, tell us where Brookshire is from Houston.
It is 36 miles west of downtown Houston on I-10.
Chloe, do you ever get to Brookshire? No?
Well, you've been to the Armenian homecomings.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that's when I've been there.
It's a cool little town. You guys, if you get the chance to go to Brookshire, Texas, you should take it. It's, what are you most proud of, besides just the story in general, Ava? What do you want Chloe to know? What's something you'd like her to take away from just this exchange we're having?
Well, essentially what I said about she comes from very strong women.
Right.
And she should be proud of that.
Well, okay. Well, guys, we're gonna move over now, and we're gonna change things up a little bit. We're going to, after we come back, we're gonna play Photographing Memories, right, Allie-Grace?
We sure are.
Okay, and that's going to be Allie-Grace is going to take us through the new game, and you guys are going to play, and we're going to have some fun with photographic memories. We'll be right back.
It's time to play photographic memories.
All right, and we're back with Ava and Chloe, and we're going to hop into a photographic memories game today. Granddad, any information on this photo we have?
Yeah, it's this. If you're really sharp, you can figure out that this was the cover of our 1997 calendar.
Wow.
But the kicker is this young woman in the picture is not. It's not 1997 when she's standing there. She's actually in the where the baseball stadium is in Houston. She's standing in the old Union Pacific Railway Station. She came in there, and this is 1938. And Chloe, this is Judy Garland. Do you know anything about Judy Garland?
No.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna learn a couple of things today. Chloe, guess how old she is in this picture?
Maybe 22.
Great guess. She's 16. In fact, she just turned 16 here. And she's made about 12 movies, I think, at this point. She was very prolific. She did a lot of movies. In fact, she started out as the one of the gum sisters. You know, like chewing gum.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that about her.
Her maiden name was Gum. Yeah, and they were the Gum sisters, and then they changed it to the Garland sisters when they started getting into the big time, and then. But she got discovered when she was singing, just going around with her sister singing, and one of the big wheels from Hollywood took her out to Hollywood and started putting her in movies, and she started very young. And this year in 1938, when she's here in Houston promoting a film, she's going to go back. She's already been shooting for a long time a film that that she won a Juvenile Academy Award for, guys. And so the question is, in 1939, did Judy Garland win an Academy Award for her film Meet Me in St. Louis, or The Wizard of Oz, or Toto's Revenge? Think it out, talk about it. Anybody have a Chloe, guess for us. What do you think it is?
I think The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
Yes.
Ava, what would you say?
It's Wizard of Oz.
And it is Wizard of Oz. Fantastic. You guys are great. All right. So our next one, we're going to take a look at. Our next question is that in The Wizard of Oz, they also won an Academy Award for the song, and it was the song that they won it for. Somewhere Over the Rainbow, Clang, Clang, Clang with the Trolley. What's that last one, Allie-Grace?
Shake It Up.
Or Shake It Up. Which one do you think it is, Chloe?
I think it's the first one. Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I'm going to guess.
That's a great guess. You agree with her, Ava?
I do.
And the answer is...
You're right.
We're Over the Rainbow. Good job, guys.
Good job.
You guys are on top of it. So this particular photograph, this whole session in Houston was part of a whole series that where talent would come to Houston to promote their films. And Chloe, they didn't have any television. They didn't have any way of really getting the word out that shows were coming around. So they would actually have the movie stars come to Houston, and people would go down to see them, get their autograph or whatever, and that would attract them to go to the movie theaters. And so she was part of that whole deal. Hey, guys, it's been great having you with us today on GrandDad and Me. Thank you so much for coming and sharing some of your family history, Ava. Chloe, I hope you learned something, and you're such a darling kid. I love your look. You have such a great countenance about you that I know it makes your grandmother proud. And I'm pretty proud of this other kid that I get to do the show with too. Allie-Grace is a fun place. So Anyway, thank you guys.
It's a grand life for a grand